What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy and welcome back to a brand new transfer targets video, and today we are doing Everton. And as you may have noticed, it's been a few days since my last video. That is basically because I had another 6-day working week. One day on Sunday I wanted to rest, and I didn't want to spend it working hard on looking at potential rumours, transfers, players I think would fit in well at certain clubs. And I spent a good few hours on each one of these videos, so it's a tricky task this. I didn't want to spend my Sunday doing that, so I just relaxed. But you're not here for my life stories. You're here for Everton's transfer targets, the potential incomings, outgoings, and all other transfer business to do with them this weekend. Bumper episode coming up, the most parts we've ever done on one of these, so it's going to be quite a long one. Let's kick off with a few players that are leaving because of an end of contract situation. Those are Valencia, Reane and Conor McKelney, I believe you say. Now, the latter two are leaving on a free contract because their contracts ran out. Valencia, I believe, his loan is ending. I don't think he'll be joining again. I can't see it. He wasn't too good. Didn't set the world on fire. And that's the reason why I think, he's just not good enough. And if Everton want to progress forward, like they've been speaking about for years now, they need to get rid of players like Valencia and go that level or two higher than them. As to Reane, he's been an all-right backup player. They need to start looking higher. They're going to get some big money for Romelu Lukaku potentially. So and also Ross Barkley could be included in that. But yeah, those two I think are worthy going. And Conor McKelney, he's spent a few years on loan, hasn't really broken into the team, deservedly sent away. Next, we've got a few loans for a few young players I believe need and probably should go out on loan. We've got Matthew Pennington, we have got Mr. Galloway, and also Kenny, who did really well for the England youth setup recently. But these three, I feel like, yes, they've slightly broken into the team, or the Pennington and Kenny have. Galloway had a very unsuccessful loan at West Brom, started off really well, faded away from there. I think these three could do with a loan spell out just for a season, for a development. I think all three of them have potential to get into the Premier League team. If they get into a Premier League team, they play for the season, Everton could next season have three really good young players. But there's no real backup for Baines, so Galloway could also stay, but it's an interesting one, that. Next up, we have some transfers of players that weren't at the club this season but on loan. We've got Cleverley, McGeady and De La Feu. Cleverley and McGeady are not good enough. Yes, they could still do a job at Premier League teams. McGeady obviously went down to Preston. You've got to look at it. They need to be buying those players above the level. They can sell them, get a bit of money, use them to reinvest it into better players. And as for De La Feu, he's not in Ronald Koeman's plan, so they need to get rid of him. And he's a pretty good player. I think he could do quite well. A few Premier League clubs, a few European clubs touting him, and yeah, I feel like you could get quite a lot of money for De La Feu. I couldn't fit him in one slide, so we're going with another. We've also got another three players that I think aren't good enough, need to get rid. That is Shani Tarashaj, I bet you've never heard that name before. Omar Niasse and Leandro Rodriguez. Again, I bet you never heard of that name before. Tarashaj and Rodriguez were considered, the next best thing, the this, that and the other. Haven't done too well, and I think they should be sold. They haven't got their contracts are running out, at least for this season. I think Rodriguez's runs out next season. Tarashaj is like 2020, I believe, so needs to be looking at it and thinking these two, sell them on, put them funds towards a better player. And also Omar Niasse's, he was frozen out immediately as Koeman came in. He joined Hull, January transfer window, did alright, but again they need to go that player above, so I think Omar Niasse also needs to be sold. And finally we get into the first team of three players I would get rid of. And we're going to start off, we've got Stekelenburg, we've got Garbutt, and we've got Besic. Stekelenburg, there's a reason I'm saying we should get rid of him, and there's a reason why I'm saying that maybe his time might be up ahead of Robles. But either of the two, I think Stekelenburg has got 8 years on Robles. He is 34, Robles is 26, so I think it'd be about time he got rid of him. A few years left on his contract, get a nice little sort of fee off him, get his wages off the books and bring someone else in. You've also got Garbutt again with liking him to Galloway. There is no real backup for Baines. Funes Mori can play on the left, but again that weakens their centre back options. So I think Garbutt maybe could stay, maybe could leave permanently, maybe could leave on loan. But I feel like it's he might probably leave the club this season. Spent some of the last season on loan at Wigan. And Besic, I feel like again he's that player that unfortunately, if Everton are going to improve the club, make a 7th power of the Premier League, Besic needs to go. And lastly, on the outgoings, is two that I'd say could probably might go on loan or out on transfer. Barkley and Lukaku. Lukaku, he's not staying. I doubt it. He's not going to stay. He is getting sold. And they could get a lot of funds for him and reinvest it through the squad. That is important. Everton do that. Barkley, however, it's a will he, won't he situation. Will he stay or will he go? Will I stay or will I? I'm not going to sing the song for copyright reasons. I'm not saying I'm a good singer, but anyway. Everton want 50 million. He's only got 1 year left in his deal, so it's risky business from Everton. They could leave him on a free, but he is that homegrown at the club player that would be vital for the European competitions. I think he'll stay. If he is to go and you get like 100 million for Lukaku, 50 million for Barkley, they've got a huge chance to become a good power of the Premier League. First up, we have 3 targets Everton could bring in between the sticks. Now, I've said I'd get rid of Stekelenburg. That is because there's a few goalkeepers I'd bring in. First of all, Pickford, rumoured £30 million deal as of recording this video, which hopefully a few hours before it goes up. Really good signing, I think. No matter what the cost, 30 million, yes, it could be a bit expensive now, but you're looking at it and you're thinking, to get 30 million, right now his contract, get him at the club, potentially for the rest of his career, you're looking at a fantastic deal. 30 million, potential England #1, playing internationals, playing European football. And if he's going to be sold on and he gets even better than he is now, what on earth is he going to be worth from then on? So you got to think. I think it's maybe a bit of a risk if he doesn't perform, but I think he's got potential to go huge. So he's a really good signing, no matter what the price. 30 million or anything higher than that, I think it's a bit too much. But 30 million just about maxes it for me. Then you got Hart on Ruffier, a bit of experience. Ruffier from the French league. I don't think he'll join, although it's, there's a few little rumours flying about that he might join. On Hart, basically I put him in there because he's leaving Man City. They've signed Henderson. He didn't even get in ahead of Bravo, which says how much Bravo is rated higher in Pep Guardiola's views. Hart he's not too good at the moment, but experienced, level-headed, and also a good voice in the dressing room. So either of them 3, I think, would be good. Next up, we've got the centre-backs, and we've got Keane, Lemos, Gibson, and Maguire. 3 out of the 4 of them are good young English talents in Keane, Gibson and Maguire. All 3 of them I think could do a job at Everton, with Keane rumoured to go to this big Premier League club and that big Premier League club. What a statement of intent from Everton it would be to go in, swoop for Keane, get him and bring him to the club. It would be a massive, even though yes he's not established England international, he's not this, that or the other, he's not proved himself on a world stage, he looks a really good quality player. And if they can bring him in, it's a statement of intent. You've also got Lemos. I've spoke about him in the Arsenal video, and I still think he'd be. I said he could be a good transfer because he was rumoured to join Everton. Lemos is a really good young defender, and I think could fit in quite well with Everton. And Gibson and Maguire, they're maybe a slight level down from Keane, but 2 really good, young defenders. I mean, if you're going to play a 3 at the back formation for England, like we did against Germany, I believe, Keane, Gibson, and Maguire really could be the 3 in the middle there for England in the future. But yeah, those 3 homegrown players I think will really look appetising. Next up, we've got left back, and we've got a beater, Robertson, and Youth. Now Youth isn't a weird, let's say player from Middle Eastern Europe. It's just basically because you've got Galloway and you've got Garbutt potentially could be leaving on loan or permanently in Garbutt's case. I think could really do a job, and they could learn a lot just by playing under and being the backup to Leighton Baines, because of course Leighton Baines can't play on forever. He's getting old, and although he may not be this season or next season or season after, but they're going to need a replacement. If they can train someone up at the club, it's homegrown at the club, and you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, in the money there, because they could train up like Leighton Baines. Before you know it, you've got the next Leighton Baines coming straight through. So that's a chance for them. Also, they're going to sign someone, a Beta and Robertson. I think Reading missing promotion could be huge for a Beta, and if he's feel like he's ready for the Premier League and he sees Everton coming for him, he can play anywhere down the left, attacking or defensive. So really good option, Beta. Also Robertson, Hull relegated. Big names are or big clubs are in for Robertson. Again, what a little statement it would be to pit the likes of Tottenham to a player like Robertson. I think could be a really good signing. Next, we've got 3 central midfielders, maybe central, more attacking, even more attacking if we're going to go like that. We've got Pedro Obiang from West Ham, we've got Kearney from Fulham, and we've got Klassen from Ajax. Obiang, I'm surprised that he could be leaving, but if they are to nip him off West Ham, what a signing it is. I feel like it's a really good player. He's he was a bit wobbly at the start for me, but he's really come a cropper, and I think he's looking really good. And with, I was more surprised at West Ham with their 2 or 3 centre midfielders they have just in general. They could be letting him go, but a really good signing it would be from Everton's point of view. Kenny also at Fulham, he's got great form for the Championship side. Again, missing out promotion could be huge in the determination of his future. And you also got Klassen. It's another will he, won't he. Ajax are playing, sort of hard to get for Everton. If he does join, I think it'd be a great transfer. Moving on to attacking midfield, and we've got 2 players I think could both end up joining. Gylfi Sigurdsson and Yassine Brahimi. Starting off with Sigurdsson, I think many people are saying, Everton are put off by his 120k a week wage demands. But I believe the highest paid player at Everton is on 120k a week, and that is Morgan Schneiderlin. Now, yes, Schneiderlin I think is a good player, could really be good for Everton in their pursuit of top 4 and Champions League football. But the way you've got to look at it is Sigurdsson I think could do a lot more for the team attacking wise. Could be the sort of Sigurdsson, or could be the Schneiderlin, of the attacking side. So I think it could be a really good sign. 25 million, you look at 120k a week. I think it's well worth bringing in. And also Yassine Brahimi, it's again another one that is every transfer window, Brahimi. And it's a random club generator, boom, this club. Oh look, it's going to be Newcastle this season, let's say for example. Could be Accrington Stanley next, but who knows. He could be off. I think he'd make a good player at Everton. And lastly, we have 3 attackers I think could join. I think all 3 maybe could even be signed. And again, it's one of the ones that, they've signed a few of these players. Everton looking really good in my eyes. We've got Sandro Ramirez, we've got Chicharito, Javier Hernandez, and we've got Andre Gray. Ramirez has been, talked about for a good few weeks now. I believe that's the first one that's going to happen out of these 3, if any of these 3 happen. Joining from Malaga, been in great form this season, could be a really good signing. Also can play either side of the attack, so if they do sign another striker like Chicharito, it could be good to sort of, for one striker formation, he could play further out wide. Talking about Chicharito, 11 goals this season for Leverkusen. I feel like he could really improve on that. He's done it in the Premier League before, super sub. He can get the starts. My goodness, what a signing he could be. And also he's a great finisher of the ball, world-class finisher, I might add. And lastly, we've got Andre Gray. The Burnley striker is kind of in form, out of form, in form, out of form. You never know what to expect. Again, he is playing for Burnley, so there's only so much you can do when you are playing for a team that is in the relegation scrap and battling for survival, because they aren't going to be the best going forward. They're not going to score those goals against the bigger teams, against the the teams lower down. You're getting maybe slightly more chances, but he's done well considering he's at Burnley, and I think Gray could do really well with an Everton side that could do a bit of pace up front. And that happens to be that for this video. I told you it was a big one. Let me know what you think about anything in the comment section down below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me, just tell me, who do you want to replace Lukaku? Would you sell Barkley, ins, outs, and all that sort of business? You know the drill. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Suggest new teams for me to do in the comments down below. And peace.